Alexander Volkanovski. Yeah. Do you think if a chimp started coming after you, could you take it one-on-one?
I'm up for any challenge. I used to be 97 kilograms. What's that, 214 pounds?
I wanted to ask about this.
I was just a ball. Like,
is everything in Australia trying to kill you?
a lot of things that will you up.
Sharks, women.
Yeah, watch out for them too. Yeah.
When Brian Ortega was choking you.
Obviously, tapping was just never an option.
Is that true?
Yeah, never an option. His arms are going to gas out or I'd die. Like literally, that's
You're my homie. I expect you to get it.
Hey.
Actually, I don't know where those fingers have been.
Hey.
Actually, I don't know where that idea has been.
Come on, open up.
I don't know where that
Open up,
Hyatt
buddy.
Regency Club room card has been.
It's right. That's the tooth.
You got it?
No, but that is the tooth.
Because I can't go a whole podcast with that in
It
there.
is. It is very small. Like, I mean, bro, it's like almost non-existent.
Oh, man. Oh, no. This is like we need some floss to...
No, but it's so small, bro. Like, yeah, you're not.
Is there anything worse? Thanks for being a homie and telling me.
Yeah, I wish.
But if you're a real homie, you'd get it.
I wish we were on the show. Is there any chance we could?
Are we on the show?
No, I don't think so. Oh,
For how long?
I could have. Oh, I was about to say some sush.
So they got everything just now.
Wait, do they have the part before?
They got a minute.
No, not when I grab his.
The part where he... Never mind. Welcome back to Impulsive, the #1 podcast in the world. Thank you. It's just not. It's not actually, and I can't keep saying it with my whole heart.
What's this? What's the metric? What's the metric for success?
That's where we always come back to.
Holy shit! We just had in the past couple months Kevin Hart, Ice Cube, fucking Izzy. Like, what's the metric for success?
David Blaine.
Yeah.
I'm so okay. We're the #1 podcast in the world.
Like what, bro?
Fuck off.
What do you want? Well, who do you want?
Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. We got a slew of amazing guests as usual. These ones have housed themselves in Puerto Rico, and we had Israel Adesanya on the podcast, one of the best fighters in the world, and we'll bring up the next best fighter in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the current UFC featherweight champion. He's one of the toughest guys, if not the toughest guy in the sport. I've been a fan of him for a very long time. He's one of the first 2 official prime athletes. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Alexander the Great Volkanovski.
Yeah.
I always mess it up at the end. Do you notice that? What up, gangster? How are you, bro? How are you? So the headphones are optional.
It's a good option.
No?
Volk, it's a good option. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah?
Because then you could hear every little fucking weird thing that goes on in the back of his throat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's definitely loud.
Yeah, if it's too loud,
Right?
fuck
Sorry,
it.
will you rather them on?
No. We don't give a shit.
Okay,
we don't give a
sweet.
shit. Just make sure the mic is somewhat.
Close.
Yeah.
I'll blow your ears off with it. I'm loud.
Good.
It's European in me, you know?
You cannot be louder than Michael.
it's impossible.
fair enough.
It's impossible.
Hey, do you want your belt back?
No, go for it, mate. Looks good on you.
I just realized, I'm like, why am I holding this? Dude, thanks for coming to Puerto Rico.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, I can't believe you did that. You guys had such a long travel, like 35 hours of just flight to flight. And you have a fight coming up in July 8th.
July 8th, yes.
Defending your title.
Defending the belt. Yeah, so going back obviously down to featherweight and defend because we had Yair. What is it always stuck?
Yair
Rodríguez. Had him fight obviously for the interim belt, and then now show him that I'm the obviously the real champ.
Yeah, and I just learned that you get a new ruby every time you defend your title.
Yep, there's a few on there. We need a few more.
Bro, I can't believe you've done it 5
It's
times.
it's like the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Get them vibes.
These belts are so heavy, and every time I hold one, I want one, and I'll never get one ever. I just feel like, I don't know, you're the best in the world at what you do. I got to experience it this morning.
It was good. Good little session we got in, didn't we?
You are so strong.
For a little fella, eh?
Dog. It's like I knew it. I knew it going into it. I've even said it
I was going to say that's going to be beautiful.
on this very podcast.
That's the one?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I've said it before. I was like, before I even knew you, and one of the first fights that I saw of you that impressed me, I had the feeling, the instinct to speak on it because I could tell how fiery you were. I think it was actually the first time you like popped on the scene for me.
Yep.
I'm usually a little late on the bandwagon, but man, you are so strong and like dominant, and you put me in a body lock. and I felt like you could have tightened your legs so much and literally split me in half. I'm not doing BJJ again, bro. Take your
Could you have done that? Could you have split him in half with your?
Well, that was you talking about the body lock we got,
The
body
Dude,
triangle.
We were drilling this body triangle. It's where you have someone in your legs and you hold them like this. And he goes, yeah, no, my legs are short. I don't really do the body triangle often. Then when we actually go to do it, he literally almost kills me with the body triangle.
But that's it. Like when I do get on, as I said, when I do get on, same as even with the triangle. If I get these little legs, they're harder to do things. But when they lock up good.
Yeah, because I have a skinny waist.
Yeah, so we're wrapped around it pretty easy. Like I mean, like when I didn't realize. Obviously, I knew that you were going to be tall. I knew that you were obviously big. But then when we were wrestling, we were standing up. I was like, oh shit. He's big.
But it doesn't matter. Jiu-jitsu is like a whole nother beast. That's like, I was telling Izzy, that's the one discipline you don't want to fight a guy in the street who knows jiu-jitsu. You don't want to fight a guy in the street who knows jiu-jitsu, knows how to kick, and knows how to strike like you do.
So that's it. Once you shape up, you're in there, yeah, you want to go, and they just drop to their ass and do the butt scoot towards you. Like, get the fuck out of here. Ain't going anywhere near you. Cauliflower ears and shit. Like, fuck off.
That's like the telltale sign. If you're about to get in a street fight with the dude with cauliflower
Don't
ear,
do it. Don't do it.
It was funny when we were in Thailand. We're at PP Island, and they got that, pub where you can fight. They get guys in the ring, just piss. The reggae bar. There's piss heads.
just show up and fight.
Yeah, you can go there. They just get some of the piss heads drinking, and then they'll just fight, make them fight.
Do you have to sound like a waiver or something? Or?
I don't even think that. That's not, man. Like, it's anything goes over there. So you end up, they're coming around getting people. They come up to me and they're like, "Oh, you," and they look at my ear and they're like, nah, you're not allowed in there. You know what I mean? So it's obviously a good sign.
No, for real. And you've always been a tough guy. That's the one thing when I watch you fight, I notice how tough you are. When you escaped Ortega's choke, Brian Ortega was choking you. He said he heard you gurgling, was the word he used. And then you came back and you won that fight. I knew in my head that this dude was going to be a force to be reckoned with for a while. Have you always been tough? I know you did rugby before MMA, but how?
Yeah, man. Like I think I've always been like a pretty resilient dude, durable. You know, obviously strong. Obviously, my techniques are up there now as well. Like so, I've got very well rounded. My striking's right up there. But I've always been gritty, hardworking sort of guy. That was a good example of it. So that's where a lot of people, that's because a lot of people are like, what made you the champ? What made you like who you are today? I'm like, I just point at that pretty much and be like, that's the guy. That's the guy that turns up in the gym every time. Like, just never give up attitude and problem solving is like, fuck, just do what you got to do to get out of fucking this. And I won't look for any other option other than do something fucking about it. That's just how I've always been in that mentality, and that's who shows up in the gym every day too.
But why?
Why?
Was it your papa? Was it your mom?
It's funny because as you go through your career and the more I learn about the sport and everything, I've just from a small town, didn't know too much. You learn more about life, you learn more about yourself, and like I'm still trying to figure it all out, right? But I think it's everything. The way I was brought up, me and my brother always punching on, or not punching on, but doing your WWE, smashing each other, and just. Yeah, all the life experiences, everything has sort of molded me in that. Maybe it was in the blood as well. You just you never know, but it's definitely something that's always been there, even when I played rugby league.
That's what I was going to ask you about. How much does in America, like we don't even fucking know rugby. Like some people know what it is, but it's not like a dominant sport here. And I know you sick.
It's big over there.
You mad?
Yeah.
Good.
Like,
you play.
Are you talking about on the field or off the field?
No. I just mean like you guys play a shit ton of rugby. It's a huge fucking game down there. Do you think that rugby background like also influenced your desire to?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I mean by life experience,
like
through sport. My brother just beating each other, all that. But definitely, even the position I played. I used to be 97 kilograms. What's that? 214 pounds.
I wanted to ask about this.
214 pounds. So I was NFL, you got the blockers, right? Like they're big. I was pretty much playing that type of position where usually the guys are, twice the size of fucking me.
That's heavier than me.
Yeah. So I used to be. Yeah,
that's my weight.
I was just a fucking ball, like literally just a ball.
Is that the toughest sport in terms of like the toughest team sport in terms of actual like aggressiveness and violence? I
guess all contact sport's going to be pretty brutal, but it's definitely up there. obviously NFL and all that, that's still going to be pretty brutal, but, you don't get,
Pads.
like, it's just, but it's always going, like, you don't get, like, certain plays. It's just nonstop, action and just running into brick walls pretty much. So it's pretty physical. I even do a bit of the wrestling with the guys, and we bring them in. And sometimes I watch the training session. I'm like, fuck, I'm glad I'm not doing that shit anymore as well. But, it's funny. I'll say that, yet I kill myself in the gym when I'm training myself as well. But, it's definitely a pretty physical sport.
How are you still working as hard as you should be in a training camp while doing all this traveling? Like, I mean, bro, 35 hours of travel, multiple airport stops. Your team lost their bags here. Like, I'm confused how you're able to do this at full capacity.
Yeah, man. Like, we'll just do what we got to do. Like, I made sure that I got a couple of really hard sessions before I come here. Obviously, we got the session in today. I'll make sure I get a solid one in tomorrow, and then we'll make it work. So I've just because. You're right. Back in the day, probably a couple of years ago, I probably wouldn't do it. I'll be thinking, everything needs to be perfect, right? Like, you think everyone's looking for that perfect camp, which it's a load of fucking shit. You're never going to get a perfect camp, right? Like, it's always injuries, something going on, and you learn more about that, get more confidence, and knowing that you can still do stuff. Obviously, you want to use with not being successful. Sometimes you need to stay busy. You need to do what you need to do. But we made sure we had time for it. And obviously, you guys, we wanted to come meet you and catch up. And you've been great. Gave me this fucking thing too.
Go,
How about that, man? Look at that. See
I
that?
Can't
thing?
believe it. I cannot believe it.
Fucking hell.
We've been a fan of you guys for so long, and Prime has been making some notable waves, but we have always been looking to get into the athlete space and have been very, very particular with who we wanted to stamp. Floated a lot of names by us, and when we found out that you guys were equally as interested in us as we were in you, it was a 100% green light from me. And the fact that you guys are here and we got to train with you, and that now you're again the official Prime athlete, like, come on, bro, I've been talking about you guys forever. You and Izzy.
Yeah, good, huh?
You guys train together regularly? Like, you guys are basically same team, same manager?
But like, it's different gyms, but like affiliate gyms in there. So I'm in Australia, he's in New Zealand. But I used to train there a heap at City Kickboxing. We obviously still cross training. I still go there here and there as well. And I've been training with him back in Thailand. I was training with him would have been ages ago as well. So we've been training with each other for a very long time. But we're obviously close as well. So
does it shock you when guys like Chris Hemsworth, a hero, especially in your country, and a hero in Marvel movies, comes up to you at the airport, takes a photo with you guys, and like hard posts it on his Instagram?
Yeah, man, it is unreal. It was funny because I went and watched. I think it was Izzy, and it must have been Anderson Silva. He was there and he was watching. So I ended up jumping in a van, and this was I think before I even got the belt. And he's walking past, and then I'm like, oh, what the hell good's that? And he sees me, comes in, goes, oh, I was hoping you'd be on the card. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? I was just blown away. But he's a big fan of UFC. So, I've caught up with him a couple of times. And he's always takes the time to say hello and that. So he's a solid dude.
He seems like it. And he seems like a tough guy as well. Seems like a guy who could be doing UFC if he wasn't so goddamn good looking, good at acting. Yeah. But it's got to be cool to receive recognition from your peers who are the most successful in the world at what they do. When did you realize that this was, I'm a tough guy and I'm kind of good at this, to holy shit, I'm like one of the best in the world and people are recognizing that?
Man, it's I think after the Chad Mendes fight was really when because he's fought the best, and he was up there, and obviously that was the biggest challenge to date. And I was like, and once I took him out in the second round, I think it was, I was like, all right, this is good. Even Joe was like, "Oh fuck, we've done something here." This is Chad Mendes. It was funny. It was after that he ended up messaging me, and I was like, "Oh no, fucking!" I was like, "Fanboy," I just beat him, and I'm like, "Fucking Fanboy," and I'm like, "Oh fucking Chad Mendes, he's fucking messaging me." So it's he was probably then. That's when I started. In the gym, I've always been confident, knew I had it, but that was probably a bit of an eye opener for me and for the world as well.
Yeah,
I think
usually there's a moment for people where they're like, "Yeah." I think I'm onto something. We are proud to introduce a brand new partner to the show, one my girlfriend and my mom might be happy about. We're talking jewelry. Blue Nile. I love shopping online. Is there anything you can't buy? You can find just about everything and buy it more easily and conveniently than ever. And you might think that's not the case when it comes to something as personal as your engagement ring,
But yes, with Blue Nile, it's true. With Blue Nile's build your own engagement ring option with overnight shipping, it will have you wondering why you ever thought that. BlueNile.com is the original online jeweler. Since 1999, they've helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring, and not just engagement rings, they have it all. With Blue Nile, you can create a bigger, more brilliant piece than you can imagine at a price you won't find at a traditional jeweler. They are committed to using the highest ethical standards when sourcing their diamonds and jewelry. Blue Nile also offers a diamond price guarantee, which means that in most cases, they can meet or beat a competitor's price on a comparable diamond. When you commit to a piece, so does Blue Nile. You get guaranteed service and repair for life, and in most cases, Blue Nile can deliver overnight. Your ring and your secret are safe. Every Blue Nile order is insured and arrives in packaging that won't give away what's inside, and if your purchase isn't perfect, there's no problem. Blue Nile offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee with guaranteed free shipping and returns. So if you're thinking about getting a gift for that special someone, or even treating yourself, use Blue Nile. Right now, you can get $50 off your purchase of $500 or more with the code Logan at BlueNile.com. Dang, $50 off with code Logan at BlueNile.com. BlueNile.com. Shout out Blue Nile. Back to the show.
Back to this thing. I was just playing ping pong out the back there, and like obviously getting into it because I'm fucking competitive at everything I fucking do. So we go on there and jumping around. This thing comes around like it's solid. Comes around and gets me boom right in there. Like, drew blood and everything. It's a solid piece of.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's a good thing. I'm just saying that's solid, yeah.
Hold on
that's good. That's good.
Hold
Yeah.
on a
It
second.
split me, mate. It
Hold
split
on
me.
a second.
Yeah.
The prime chain made you bleed?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's
That's
how hard we're going.
not my intention. Jesus.
That's he pulled out from July 8th from
It's Prime's fault.
lacerations to his face.
I wish I could come to the fight, man. The last fight
284.
that we were at
Mm-hmm.
was your fight.
Yep.
Came to Australia to announce
That was the last UFC event you were at.
No, it's not true. We were at 287.
I lied just
Okay.
now.
But-
just
but-
now I lied. It's what I did.
But yeah, we were at 284 for the Islam fight.
How do you remember these numbers, dude? Okay, he's scrolling through.
Listen, man,
Wikipedia.
I do this, okay? Yeah, we were at that fight, and I think along with everybody else, we were a little bummed about the decision.
It was horseshit,
Yeah.
Volk. It was
Yeah, I'm
horseshit.
hearing you. Like, it's the whole thing, right? Me moving up, challenging myself, wanted to, have my moment in Australia. Haven't been in Australia, fought in Australia for how long? Haven't defended the belt. Haven't been able to do that, and then have a fight like that, and then finish like I did, and then think like we're gonna have this fucking moment, right? Like
Yeah.
let's do it.
That
I
was
was ready
it.
for it, and it just taken away from me. So I was pretty fucking disappointed with that, as everyone else was there, as I'm sure you would have heard.
we
but,
we were.
Yeah.
We're not even.
Yeah,
we're not from
I've
there.
seen the videos of you getting into it as well.
I was upset for a while. I have a really serious problem with judging
Oh, yeah?
in combat sports.
Do you have a personal experience or like a personal vendetta with judging problems or?
I have vendettas with the refs, but that's a personal. Forget about all that.
All right.
Nah, fuck you, Jack Reese.
How's that?
Nah. Shout out Jack Reese. Jack Reese, shout out to you, because without you, we would not have Prime, and without Prime, we wouldn't have Alexander Volkanovski. So, no. Isn't it just? It's shocking to me how judges can subjectively decide who wins a fight on criteria that not really is understood.
Yeah.
Like what? Why in that fight? Because you outstruck him, you outlanded him.
In a massive way. Massive.
Did he come out victorious? Because even the takedowns, because he did have more control on the ground, but he didn't do anything with them.
Yeah.
There was no damage done. So why?
Well, that's it, right? Yeah, it goes by damage, and he obviously got takedowns, but he wasn't really doing much with it. So that's why a lot of people were pretty mad. But going by the scoring criteria, they still believed, I won anyway. It's that 10 must system, right? Like that boxing, which say the second round was a close round. Like some people give it to him, some people give it to me.
Yeah.
But then you got the fifth round where
five,
I drop him. I end up like just punching deep through the canvas for
Yeah.
the last fucking minute, and that's
Scored the same.
scored the same.
Yeah,
That's
that's
like
bullshit.
that. His the second round that people thought I won anyway was was worth just as much as my last round. So it's a tricky one to go off, because you get some that are really significant rounds for someone, and then one that was 50-50, we don't know, and then all of a sudden someone's winning because they had a couple of rounds like that where this guy kicked his ass for the other few as well. So it's I don't know. There's
It's,
some, I guess
it's outdated.
I
It
think
needs
so,
to be overhauled.
100%.
I think after
Boxing
this Haney, experience,
That
like
pissed me off too, dude. Haney did not win the fight, and I like Devin Haney, but he just did not win the fight, and everyone knows it.
It comes down to that as well. Like obviously in boxing, you got a lot more rounds, so you might not see it as much.
as effective.
But that was a good case where there were so many 50-50 rounds or very close rounds. And then there was more significant rounds for Loma, which makes you believe, Loma definitely won, right? Like, then they've got to go to these, but... And then 50-50s, were they just giving it to Haney? Like, you don't know. But
and then the other factors come into play is like, what's influencing these judges? Like, and we don't have to get into that, but it's just, it feels like a really outdated system that needs overhaul, especially for sports that are so in the zeitgeist and haven't had any kind of like, real change. And they seem like they could be malleable. Like, it seems like there could be some sort of change affected.
yeah. Well, I think something needs to happen. Obviously, it's people are always talking about it. They always want to. They think that everyone thinks they got the right idea for it. They got the answer, but it'll be hard to find the exact answer. You're going to bring in something that might work here and then might not work somewhere else. It's going to be tricky. But I mean, I feel like judging overall has to. You know what I mean? If you're going to go to these rounds and be like, I don't know. Well, I'll just give it to him. And then you're like, fuck, they can really mess things up. But going overall, like everyone knows if that fight goes overall, like how they used to do it in other organizations or, even other sports maybe, but clearly you would give it to me. And everyone would be like, Alex definitely won that fight. But I mean, going by the scoring criteria, it was a bit closer, but we still think anyway.
It also
it's a tricky one.
It is tricky. I feel like being a judge in general is probably a pretty tricky job, especially when there are close fights and having that much pressure to judge it correctly. Because at the end of the day, you're a human watching a fight real time, and your even position around the ring is going to change your perspective on what you're seeing. And I imagine going through that loss, having the pun intended seatbelt of still being a champion in another weight class was nice. But did you find that it was demotivating at all? Like, did disappointment strike you in a way that you hadn't felt before?
I don't know. Losing sucks, you know what I mean? Even though everyone was, my stocks, wouldn't have declined from that. Obviously everyone still, thought I won, and everyone was like congratulating me, I was like sitting there going, I fucking lost. What do you mean? Like, you can't, they're going, but that's bullshit. You won it. It's so it was tricky, but it did make it easier. The fact that it was so close, everyone thought, and I still had the pound for pound spot, and we're probably going to do the rematch anyway. So that's what's that makes it easy for me. It just adds to the story. We move on. Like you gotta move forward, right, and just play on. Obviously it sucks, but I'll get the rematch. I'll win, and then we'll make a bigger fight, and bigger ending to that story anyway. So
you DM me. Well, we were DMing, and one of the messages you sent was something like, at the end of the year, I want to have both the championship belts on my shoulder with the prime in my hand.
Yeah, exactly.
I see the vision, bro.
Two belts, two primes.
So sick. So sick, man. Nah, like you have something very special. And like I said, we are so excited to have you on the team. Are you ever scared? Because like even Islam, man, that's a demon. And
not scared of will never be scared of a person. It's just maybe scared of losing. Maybe scared of, he might catch me and all. I'm not scared of actually getting hit or anything like that. Well, fuck, you don't feel like I'm all good with that. But the factor of losing is always going to play in your mind. It's always going to be something that you got there. It's like, all right, make sure, we take these fucking opportunities away from them. But but at the same time, I love the challenge as well. So these are guys that are bigger threats, and the bigger threat of me losing as well. I'm going to be confident, but at the same time, that the challenge excites me, and that's it makes me better. I know I'm going to rise up to that occasion. Like, that's why I wanted that fight, because it wasn't just me just moving up, which is going to be hard anyway, right? Then you probably had what everyone was saying, the stylistically worst matchup for me. Not only this guy was bigger, now I'm getting a guy that's absolutely dominates in that position and he's bigger. You get what I mean? So it's like a bad choice for you to move up, take on someone bigger, and his game be totally using sort of his size, strength, and that's what his game's based on, right? But I mean, I loved it. I was like, everyone was doubting me and all that, and I was one thing. it's sort of, it was annoying at stages where people, like I would have people, the media, like they'll hit me up and be like, why are you doing this? And, like sort of like trying to talk me out of it. And I'm just like, I was getting obviously annoyed. I'm just sitting there going, fucking like, here everyone in the world, you see them like, the quotes and the memes and all that talking about, the quotes are saying like, challenge yourself and, be comfortable being uncomfortable. I just wanted to sit there and go, you're all full of fucking shit. You know what I mean? Every time someone does it, you want to sit there and go, why the fuck you doing it? Because I want to challenge myself.
Yeah.
I want to make myself better. And I know it will. And it did. It definitely, I did obviously rise to the occasion. It made me better, made me stronger. And again, I'll get that fucking win back. And then it's going to add to that story.
But you need it in Australia.
Yeah,
you tell those motherfuckers that's a stipulation of the fight. Because I know how bad you wanted that shit at home, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You had all the Aussies in the fucking
crowd.
crowd.
I beat him wherever. And then if the trilogy has to happen, I do that in Australia. And there you go.
Oh, yeah, because you don't get to make the stipulations after you.
What's that, sorry?
You don't get to make the stipulations
Oh,
after.
I mean, like, I don't know if he's going to even take the fight now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he's trying to run away from the fight, but fighting me in Australia again, I don't think he would want that.
Because I had a question about that. Does he, or is there like, does that like fighter's honor exist in him where he's like, nah, fuck that. Like, I want to actually win the fight. You know what I'm saying? Where he's like, or is he going to run, or is he going to come back and actually try and get it? You know what I'm saying?
Depends
like,
on
really
the
finish it.
Depends on the person.
I
right?
think he's probably gonna want you to come to Kazakhstan.
Yeah, like.
Where's he from?
What, like
I think I fucked
Abu
that up.
Dhabi, as it was mentioned.
Where's he
maybe.
from?
We need to know where he's from right now.
He's a Dagestan.
Dagestan. Excuse me, Dagestan.
Yeah, Dagestan. Like, I don't know if they'll have an event there, but I mean, that's why they always go to Abu Dhabi. They always fight there as well.
Yeah, so no Dagestan.
So that's sort of, and I'm pretty sure they have an event there almost every year. And they need your like Islam and a couple of the guys that
to drive
cars. I think. Yeah.
You said something I think is important about the cliche quotes. Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Challenge yourself. And then whenever anyone does it, the media's like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Why are you doing that? Like when you go outside of traditional norms and you really try to push yourself and break boundaries, it shocks people. When I took on the Floyd fight, I had a journalist that looked me in the eyes and I could tell he was sincere in what he was saying. He couldn't understand why I was doing this. He goes, statistically, he's never lost. Do you really think you can beat him? I was like, yes, dude. That's why I'm here. He goes, yeah, but looking at his record, like he's 50-0. The statistics, and I go, dude, if I let statistics rule the decisions that I made in my life, I would be nowhere. And it's outliers like you who do challenge the statistics and the traditional norms who end up doing great things in life. I'm proud of you, Volk.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to get that shit back.
Fuck yeah. And that's with what you're saying, that's with everything, with being successful in anything in life, right? Like there's going to be challenges in whatever you do. You're going to have to sometimes, challenge yourself, push them boundaries. And that's how you figure shit out. That's how you evolve, whether it's a company or whatever it is. Like you're going to have to, branch out and do what you got to do. But yeah, again, it was like annoying me. I was at one stage, I think it was fight week, and I was like literally going to go to the press conference and just be like, he's all full of fucking shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because everyone was literally trying to say like, oh, you're mad. Like, and I'm going, fuck. Like, I guess that didn't make sense to me. It's like, why wouldn't I do this?
Well, it doesn't make sense to them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, it's just, again, it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, I talk about having my moment in Australia, which again, it's, how much better would this fucking conversation be if I could just say, I did have that, mate. I just mean like, I know, but then I could actually be like, I had my fucking moment. But so that was the whole point. Go over there, the unthinkable, like it would have been like the way people carrying on, the greatest feat the world's ever seen, like, the way people were carrying on. And again, that was an opportunity to really, raise some eyebrows and really be like, fucking hell, that's big. That's real big. Being double champ and doing it that way. And, so it was something that, again, I looked at and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, this is what I want. So when I wanted the belt, 2 belts either shoulder, it fucking looks good. But when it was Islam and then the challenge, I knew it was a challenge. I knew I'm going to have to step it up. That excited me more. It wasn't about that second belt anymore. It was about proving everyone wrong and showing that like fucking anything is possible. I'll fucking show you. Even this little fucking here, I'm going to show you. I'll fucking go there and I'll do it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, again, we thought we fucking did it, but what do you do?
You have a lot of downtime in camps. you're working hard in camps, but you have time to chill. You ever watch Netflix?
Yeah.
Have you watched Chimp Empire on Netflix?
I haven't actually. I was just talking to Izzy about it. Izzy was
Flip it, Kev. It's upside down. Flip it. Yeah.
He was telling me I haven't watched it. I'm gonna start watching it.
Okay, so I mean, Chimp Empire. It's unbelievable. I experienced every emotion watching these chimpanzees run around and go.
Every emotion?
Well, I didn't experience.
Like, you were turned
pretty
on
much.
at any point?
I wasn't turned on. I think God gave up making chimp buttholes. I'll just say it. I'll just say it right there. Like he made these things, and when he got to the ass, he was like, I don't have time.
What, they don't have them?
Just Google it. It'll haunt you. Here's where I'm going with this. No, because I want to say something.
I want to know
Yeah.
though. Is that legit? Or is there no
Yo,
buttholes?
yo,
Wait, what?
the way I don't know why I brought it here because I don't like butthole talk per se, but the anatomy of a chimp's rear end is one of the most grotesque things you'll ever see.
Really?
There's no way to put it.
Really?
It looks like an alien's mouth, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't know why I brought it up. No,
Well, you've seen. Well, it's only funny because you've seen what aliens look like. He has the only video of aliens.
no, it's not true.
Did you?
It's alleged.
I've seen. So yeah, okay.
Here's where I'm going with
try
this.
some-
Yeah.
See what happened right there?
Well,
Quick
because
redirect.
I'm bought and sold by the government. Here's where I'm going with this. When I watched Chimp Empire with my girlfriend, the one thought that kept going through my mind is if a chimp attacked me, could I take on this chimp? The answer was always a resounding no. Do you think if a chimp started coming after you, Alexander Volkanovski, could you take it one-on-one?
Nah, I actually know. I haven't watched Chimp Empire, but I know enough about chimpanzees to know you don't fuck with them.
Yeah, but could you do it?
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to be real with it. I want to just be like, yeah, fuck, I'm take on anyone. But I got told about it. I remember hearing about chimpanzees. If a chimpanzee got out of a zoo, let's say a lion, and the lion, they wouldn't be too fussy. But if a chimpanzee got out, they would be fucking very worried because they'll just go and they'll fuck up everyone.
Oh, yeah.
And they said they'll fuck up 20 people, just rip limbs off straight
They
away.
rip faces, they rip limbs.
Yeah, so I knew that. So I know I won't feed a chimp because I know I could rip my limbs
No,
literally
in
off.
your face. They go after the face. We had
Yeah.
one in Connecticut where I'm from, and it ripped the lady's
But
face.
hey,
her
I'm up for
friend.
any fucking challenge.
also-
So you know
That's
what
what
I
I'm
mean? Yeah,
talking about,
fucking.
dude.
How much does a chimp weigh?
No, yeah, that's what I was going to ask. What about
Dana
the
wants to
weight
bring
class?
a chimpanzee in, we can fucking make it happen.
How many kilograms do you weigh?
So I weigh in 65.8. So
Yo,
what's that?
it's
145.
A chimp, male adult, 60 kg.
Fucking, we can do it.
Oh, that's
Let's
is
go,
that
man.
the same class?
You
Is that
have
the same weight
beast.
class?
Hey? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
same
it.
way
Close
we go.
enough.
Nah, because I don't know when I look at you, you feel like a dude that can take on anything. Adolescent big cats.
No, what about a roo?
Badgers.
What about a roo? I mean,
Mate, I could take on a roof. Fucking know if I could.
but have you seen which kind of roo?
I've seen the big reds.
Yeah.
And made you see them like this. They go like that. They got proper biceps
Yeah.
and they got chest like pecs.
I've seen them smoke. They smoke cigarettes and shit.
Yeah.
They look like they go to the bar, getting bar fight. Like they're fucked
You
up.
seem like they just stand the cash as just like scratching themselves like this, but they're fucking staunch like this.
Are
The monsters, they're like
Australians
6 foot tall, the big reds.
Are Australians a different breed, including the roos? What's going on in that country?
Yeah, can we stay on Australia for a second? Because that was the biggest W for me coming out of that fight.
It's
was I got
definitely
to
they're
go
different.
there.
Yeah, we're definitely different. I reckon. Like that's when you were talking about rugby league players and like sport. Even AFL would be the same, but like rugby union, there's some it gets fucking pretty wild. You know what I mean? Like it's Mad Mondays we call them. Mad Mondays. That's after a season when the season's done, you go out and when you say different, do you mean as in everywhere partying?
Yeah, but let's go.
whatever.
But let's go note by note because I had these girls in Sydney and we were up, late night one night at the Crown, just hanging out talking, and they told me about this epidemic of something called a king punch. Is that what it's called? Where people would run up and just hit someone in the back of the head and people were dying. It was like a
the
whole
king, well, I remember there was a phase.
king hit.
King hit.
Oh, is that what it
Yeah,
was?
yeah,
King
yeah.
hit.
So I don't know. I mean, it was a phase. I don't know if that wasn't that around the world or was that in Australia?
No,
mainly?
no, I never even heard of it.
Yeah, so
It was
people
like-
just doing it for a laugh, like going out there and people.
Yeah, but
don't
they
fucking
told
die.
me they had to shut down all the clubs in Sydney for a while because it was happening so often. It was like a major problem. We have shootings here. You know what I'm saying? It's not. We don't have king hits.
Yeah. No, you're right. I do remember there was a bit of a phase where that was happening as well. It was
people
pretty
just-
bad. Like a couple of Aussies drinking. There's usually a couple of fights. But people, I remember there was a phase that you're talking about where people were just doing that, just like I don't know. It was like let's go do like it was like a trend at one stage,
Right.
So
which was fucking obviously.
when I was in middle school, the boys would go around giving each other neck. It's called, so not a king hit, but they would slap the back of your neck hard.
Sorry. You and your friends used to run around and give each other
Don't
neck.
make it a thing. Don't make it a thing. It's not like that.
It's fine.
It's not like that.
It's fine.
I'm just saying, like, there was. Fuck you, bro. Listen. There was also a time. Gentlemen my age, 28 years old, may remember this, where these young men would run around the school and give each other what's called dead legs. They'd run up to you and just knee you in the side of the leg.
Real Charlie.
Like a
like
real
proper,
Charlie.
real proper.
Yeah, and at the time it was like a fun thing, but I remember thinking like, this is probably assault. And now I realize that that's more true than ever. And I was small, so I often got bullied. Did you ever have a bully experience, like where you had to stand up for yourself?
There was definitely. I've always, mate, I come pretty much out the womb looking like this. I fucking looked about 40 years old as a kid, like literally. So that's why I used to get into fights even when I was younger. Again, nothing I'm proud of, but it would happen. But because I looked probably a lot older, like even I was like this tall and everything. I just stopped growing when I was 5, or something. So literally, so I always looked older and things like that. So I always have.
Is that why people,
guys.
they were like, he looks older, let's get him?
Oh, like it'll just be like your friends being silly, drunk, and that, and then I look like I was one of the older guys, and then they would want to come and just point me out, or just sometimes I swear I just always got pointed out. But so it would not end well for them usually.
But did you win those fights? Like, what's your street fight record?
It's not too bad, to be honest. I mean, it's not something I'm proud of though, right? But I mean, it's I was known for a bit for blueing back in the day. That's what we call blueing.
Yeah, what?
Bluing.
What does it mean?
It means like bluing, punching on. I was known for punching on, bluing, yeah.
And you didn't have to.
As in fighting, yeah.
You didn't have to rely on judge scores at that point. Like
Yeah,
you were,
exactly.
it was
Well, come down to usually not king hits though. It wasn't king hits, but if you land one good one, usually that'll be enough.
I need to say this really quick. We started talking about Australia, and I brought up the most random thing, like fuck the king hits, dude. Can we talk about this? like that was the worst thing. What a great country. I've raved about it on the show, on my show, like a dozen times since I went there. The food, the women, the beaches in Gold Coast, the city life in Melbourne. I mean, I was in every city of your, every main city of your beautiful country. What is your favorite thing about Australia? Like, what would you tell people who are watching this right now that never thought of Australia as a place they'd want to visit?
Man, what you said, like the beaches, everything. It's got everything there.
Everything.
I just love a lot of countries got beaches, right? But what I love about, especially where I live, is like every kilometer or mile, you could say, is just like a new beach, a new beautiful beach with reefs and everyone's surfing and things. I've always loved that. So I've always grew up near the beach and played rugby league, and so I don't know. I think it's just more that, like them beachy vibes. Again, a lot of countries have that, but I mean, I think it's just sort of that. And maybe the people can be pretty friendly, pretty wild. So you get a bit of everything. I'm sure you would have met like some wild, especially playing football. We're going to sort of touch on that a little bit. I was talking about the Mad Mondays, but I don't know how how much information you want on that one. You know what I mean? So you want all of it. Yeah. But like I said,
I'm out of the Mondays, man.
Well, that's got the Shoeys and all that as well,
Yeah,
right?
the Shoeys.
That's stuff that you want. Yeah, that people on TV can see that. There's a lot of stuff that you don't want on TV as well, right? It gets pretty wild at the Mad Mondays we call them. That's what I was talking about when I said Mad Mondays. After a whole footy season, you finish up and then you just go nuts on like a 2-3 day bender, and it's just it's wild.
Is that where Footy Volk comes?
We were told to ask
from?
about Footy Volk.
Yeah, well, who told you that? Or someone, Footy Volk. Well, that's what it is. So I start getting a couple of drinks. I get a bit rowdy. I was like, well, fucking Footy Volk's coming out. You know what I mean? So I'm obviously a pretty pretty chill dude, you know what I mean?
Right.
Fair family man, chill dude, but get a couple of drinks, it's like that's it. Fucking all downhill.
I
from
need
there.
to see that.
I was just thinking about.
I need to see that.
I was just thinking about us going out to the casino tonight. Me, you, Izzy, Volk. And Volk starts having a couple shoeys, and all of a sudden he turns into Footy Volk.
I need to see that.
Tonight.
We thought for a second it was Footy Volk.
Foodie Volk.
Like you
could be.
Footy Volk. Footy Volk.
But it could be Footy Volk too.
Foodie Volk, yeah.
Because
I,
you're a
love,
big
I have
foodie.
a
You got a
foodie,
cooking
yeah,
channel.
cooking channel and that. Yeah, I love my food.
Tomahawk steaks.
Tomahawk steaks, yeah, I love my steak. I love a grill. I love cooking on a grill. That's my thing.
I got a grill.
Yeah,
Are we supposed to be cooking tonight?
I think we are. What grill you got? You got coal, like you got a
It's a good grill. It's
gas cooker. We're cooking over fire. What we
now
doing?
you're getting all complicated.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's gas.
Is everything in Australia trying to kill you?
Mate, there's a lot of things that will fuck you up. That's
Sharks,
for sure.
roos,
Mate,
spiders.
Like even shit like you get even some of the jellyfishes, the like
jellyfish.
octopuses. They like some of the most all the deadliest things in the world live in the fucking
The
Australia.
women.
I'm telling you. Yeah. Watch out for them too. You know.
But isn't it true? Like what? Like 95% of the country is still uninhabited, right? Like the majority of the
On the outskirts, yeah, for sure. Like
the
there's a lot of-
outskirts are all no, like the coasts are inhabited. But
Yeah.
as you move towards the center of the country, it's all the great outback.
Yeah, the outback in that. Yeah, you're not wrong, especially because I do a bit of camping and hunting and things like that. So I go out back all the time. So yeah, you'll see shit that'll like want to kill. I haven't been up north where the crocodiles are. That's one thing that I'm actually fucking scared of.
Another thing.
So like snakes and all that, like I'll see deadly snakes that'll like can kill you and that, like some of the deadliest snakes. I've seen plenty of those. I'll be all right around them, but a crocodile, because you can't see them, and like they'll sit in a fucking little pond that barely fits them in, like this deep of water. You wouldn't even know they're there, and you're just sitting there like rinse your feet out. Go on.
I think we need to
Big
stop.
sodas.
I think we need to stop this because I think that people feel like this is a proper representation of all of Australia.
Exactly. I'm talking.
Like I see these people online and they're like, no, I'm never going there. And
And
we're
here
just
I am fucking going.
perpetuating-
Here I am just playing on with it.
We're just perpetuating it even further. It's not the case. There's
Well, you're right. Like obviously you can go to spots like all right, don't go to fucking northern, go up north where the crocodiles are. I'm being serious. Don't go fucking there because the crocodiles are salties and that they're in the beaches there and that, and they will fuck you up. But the snakes and that, there's a lot of deadly shit, but they're usually trying to avoid you.
I felt like the guy that I was grappling with today was kind of like a crocodile.
Yeah, he'll alligator roll you fucking.
No, that guy was doing some funky shit.
That's that shit. Like and he gets joy out of it. Gets joy out of just hurting people.
What a
Craig
sicko.
Jones.
What a sicko. He was taking it easy on me. He hurt me.
It's just funny. You're in a position. You're like, oh yeah, I'm all right. Next minute, you're like, can't breathe, and you're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die.
Which-
like, what the fuck? I remember you got up like, what the fuck
No,
was that?
I had no idea how. I thought I was good. And all of a sudden, I can't breathe.
And you're like, what the fuck just happened?
How when you can't breathe and you're in the middle of an octagon and there's 20 to 30,000 people watching, how do you push past that mentally? Like, for example, when Brian Ortega was choking you, like what's going through your head? Is it just pure survival instinct?
Yeah, and because obviously tapping was just never an option.
Is that true?
Yeah, never an option. Like I wasn't looking like, oh no, I was just. So there's layers to it. So let's get into layers.
Let's get into it.
So I was, I'm in the triangle. Mind you, I've been in these positions with guys like Craig, and I was getting them to get me in the deepest guillotines and like just so I can, we call them late stage. So not in a position where you can start to get out. Like you're already there. You're like can't breathe already. Yeah. A few more seconds, you're going to sleep. So you have to address it straight away. Otherwise, you're going to sleep. You
got to address it.
Yeah. So I put myself in these positions a lot, and no one got me as tight as fucking Brian did. Not even when I would let them. That's how fucking deep he got it. So credit to him. I was like, how the fuck did you do it that quickly as well? Couldn't believe how quickly he did it. So then we get there and then I realized I'm like, oh fuck, I'm in the choke. And then I'm like, all right, doing what I needed to do, pushing on his hips. He done a technique. I won't get into the technique, but he done things beautifully. So I was trying to, change the mechanics of it to give him the oxygen, and it wasn't working. So I was doing what I needed to do, which most people probably wouldn't have even done that or knew to do that. I was doing that and it wasn't fucking working. And then I'm just like, well, I'm going to keep fucking trying, right? So I just kept fucking trying. I was like sitting there thinking, and then the lights started dimming. So literally the lights were dimming and like, it was like a movie, honestly. It was like dimming, and I was even at one stage thinking like, there's no fucking way. You know what I mean? There's no way he's taking this belt away from my family. It was like that type of moment. I'm like, fuck that. So I just like keep going. So it was never an option. It was either his arms are going to gas out or I die. Like literally, that's sort of where we were at that stage. So again, so imagine being in there. You're in a position, you're doing what you think will work. It's not working. It's getting deeper and deeper. You're about to go out, and then I was just like going, well, I'm just going to keep doing what's not working anyway. Hopefully he fucking gasses out. Like, you know what I mean? Like obviously it was just a problem solving sort of moment. That's just how I guess I am. Like, in them situations, there was never any other options. Like, what do I do next? Like, just problem solving. But the thing is, the problem solving I was doing was still not working, but I was still going to just, all right, well, I'll just be stubborn with this shit and keep doing it.
Be stubborn. I think that's what he called you afterwards, too.
Yeah. Stubborn little bastard or something like that, yeah, which is how it was, man. And then it was there and I was like, oh, and then I just felt him getting that little bit weaker. He obviously started gassing. So, and then the lights started coming back and then we got out. And then I just remember straight away, most people be like, oh, fuck, give me a second. I'm like, I'm going to get up and punch you in the fucking head. So
that's what I love about your style.
So I was already, before I was even out of it. So the lights were still coming back to me. And then I'm already thinking, he's gassing. Because I could feel, obviously, he was gassing. I started getting the oxygen back. And then I'm like going, he's gassing. Fucking get on top of him and fucking punch his head through the canvas.
I think that's what separates you from a lot of fighters is that when you would think that you're compromised, you go harder. Yeah. And it sort of dissuades people, I think, from trying to hit you, right? Because if they hit you with one punch, if they hit you with 3 punches, you're going to hit them with 5. And they're all going to be fucking rock solid.
So what I was saying with that exact, so I just explained that to you. That's, if I had to describe like who I was and like why I am, that's what I mean. Like that there. But that's the same guy that turns up in the gym every day as well, right? So that's a guy that will, in the gym and just never give up, in some of the workouts that we do. And I'm always gonna, keep going. I get guys that are twice the size of me, and obviously some of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world put in positions, and I'll work there. Like, I'm again, be comfortable and uncomfortable. Where a lot of people say they do that. I was explaining who was I talking to? I forget who I was talking to, and I was, say if you bring a jiu-jitsu practitioner that's very good. A lot of people were like, oh, I'll work with him because this guy I'm fighting is a really good jiu-jitsu guy. But they'll try and avoid the problem in a sense where I'm going to keep it standing and jab him at long range. And so now I'm not really taking advantage of that guy's jiu-jitsu, where I will go to this guy that's going to fuck me up even if I try, but I'm going to, all right, I want you to get me in the deepest guillotine you can. I'm going to try and get the fuck out. You know what I mean? So I'll put myself where they're strong. And then, because again, at the end of the day, the problem is the guy I'm fighting, right, in the octagon. So if I put myself in these shitty positions now, that's really problem solving, because I'm going to solve that problem in the octagon. Not problem solve now. I can avoid getting tapped out right now, but I'm avoiding the real problem, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Put yourself through hell in the
exactly practice. Right. So there's going to be, all right, this guy's really good here. All right, I just won't even let him get me there. This guy, I won't let him get me there, but I'm avoiding the problem. What if he does get me there? Yeah. We're going to fucking work there. Sure. It's going to be fucking shit. I'm going to be struggling to breathe fucking for the whole session, but it's all good. Like, so I'll always do that. I've always done that no matter where I am. I could be on the bottom with guys twice the size of me. I'm going to fight till that round's over to get the fuck up. And that's just how I've always been, maybe even when I played rugby league and that. And again, that's a guy that turns up in the gym. And over time, because I'm not some special athlete, a lot of people probably say I'm an athlete. I don't think you would say that. I feel like it's through that sort of a mindset that I have, a mentality and all that. It's grown me into who I am now.
That is special.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
the
special part.
Yeah, right? So you'll see guys that are way more explosive than me, and a lot of people think I'm reasonably explosive, but I feel like that was through hard work to get me there, through pushing myself and pushing the boundaries and pushing them limits, challenging myself to make me who I am today. Because I wasn't born. Some people are going to be born with some flashy shit and they're going to be good there. I don't think I was. I think it was that mindset, mentality, and that hard work, and just being a stubborn. Excuse my French. Being stubborn, all that, and it ended up getting me. Are we allowed to say?
Yeah, for sure. I said it 4 times.
Yeah, I said the C word.
No, I did.
Oh, you did. Oh, yeah. Good.
Wait, so what situation?
That's what I love about Australia. There's another thing I love Australia. You can say that word a lot, and it's honestly you probably heard about it, right?
Of course.
So you like if you
I know the whole rating system. I know all about it. I know. Okay.
who's
don't-
the man? Who's the man?
Good or sick? Sick and good are probably the highest, right?
Sick. So like sick. Right?
Yep.
So in Australia, I wouldn't mind. I'd be like, yeah, sick.
Yep.
Here I'm like, oh no way, people might.
It's probably getting like bleeped on this
I think we do
have to bleep
it's one time on YouTube and the whole episode's demonetized.
Okay,
so we'll figure it out.
You know what we're saying anyway. So sick is like, he's the man. You know what I mean? Like that's, he's like a, yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah, or can be, yeah.
No,
can be that too.
because that's.
I mean, if someone goes, oh, yeah, he's a sick, you're going to be like, oh, he must be a good dude, man.
And
there's two negatives, right? Like it's
and
pretty.
then good, right? After like good was cool. And then I know the worst as well. The worst thing, the one thing you don't want to be is a dog.
Yeah.
That's really bad, right? What is it?
Putrid.
Putrid? You guys use that type of word? That's crazy. I studied, dude, listen, I'm not messing around. I go to a lot of places and I try to pick up little things on the culture and how they act and what they do. I was dialed in for Aussie, dude. I wanted to make sure I was really locked in because I had the partnership with Culture Kings and I was doing this thing and that thing and I really wanted to get it right. So I was studying it. And I even tried to get it out on the YouTube video and I got demonetized.
All
right, yeah.
They're like, you can't use that.
It's if you're not in Australia, it's a tough word to just float by.
Yeah, like I said, it's just especially in football, rugby league, and that like that.
Yeah, come on.
Where he uses it. Yeah, so he's like American, like obviously my wrestling coach. I don't know if you know Frank Kinkman, but he'll come in, he'll say it, and like he tries to take it all back home in America, and they're like,
it doesn't work. And we had to ask too, like we're like, hey, are we allowed to call the girls that? And they're like, no, don't call the girls that.
It's between the boys. Though.
Yeah, but I got the full training session. I did. Michaela Testa made me Vegemite toast. Put way too much on.
Okay, see.
So they fucked up. I had a bad experience, and then last week a proper Aussie came over to the US and he made me a real thin one to a layer
butter,
where it was a butter to a layer that was almost, you couldn't even see the Vegemite on it. It was just a tiny little layer. Delicious.
Wow, really? Thank
delicious.
You. Oh.
It changed the entire experience. So I had the Vegemite, I had the Tim Tams, and I hit up your number one national landmark, basically the president of Australia, Angela White. And she told me that I need to do a Tim Tam slam. And I did that. And dude, like you guys got a bunch of great stuff there. It's just a cool ass place. And I really want to go back. And I love Ool, the airport at Gold Coast. I just love it.
It's funny you said before, like, we'll sit there and like with the animals and all, everything's going to fuck you up, right? Like, we play along with it. Same with the Vegemite fucking, every time I see it on TV, I want people to understand, like, it's fucking actually good. But they'll go there and they'll just cake the Vegemite on. They cake it on. Like, I can't eat, like, I love Vegemite. Like, there's no way I'll do that. But I sit there and like, so again, like it's everyone's just sort of playing the, like that. But like obviously Australia's great. I love it. It's got, but I mean, there is a lot of dangerous stuff. As I said, don't go up north,
including you.
Yeah. But that's it. But I mean, like you'll be all right. You can walk through the bushes. You ain't gonna die every time.
And once again,
1 out of 10, maybe not every time.
I'll take those odds.
And the women. Just one more time. They are. I think their mentality is in line with an American man. So like their sexual desires and prowess are about in line with an American man. Like they have no problem just like being like, you want to go to the bathroom? Like easy, bro.
It's like because they're pretty chill like that as well. Like how the Aussies can be. You go out drinking with them, and they're like, oh, they're pretty. They're going to be pretty full on all around the world. I'm sure everyone's had an Aussie experience with loud Aussies coming in and like Footy Volk too, right? But that's what I mean. That's it. Volk. But then that's even the girls can get a bit like that. They're pretty like they'll have a couple of drinks and then they're like firing up as well. And whether that's how a lot of girls are in a lot of countries, I don't know. Now all the Aussie girls are gonna be like, "You're fucking making us look bad." No, it's a good thing.
It's part of the reason Mike liked the country.
It's part of
it. So much, part of it. The easier, the better for Mikey.
So what was in Australia? What was it? It was the women. The hot burgers. You were talking about
the food. He loved
the food in general, and the people are just really cool there.
People
it's
are
just
great.
A really cool place.
Did you end up doing a shoey? Did you do it? You did a shoey of a prime, didn't you?
It was so
Whose shoe do you
Bam
use?
Bam told
Yeah.
me, he said, listen, I'll do your prime shoey, but let's be honest, like it's a new shoe and it's prime, not alcohol. So like we didn't really do a shoey.
Okay,
Isn't
yeah.
it supposed to be with like a disgusting putrid like boot with beer in it?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like in Australia, a lot of times when you're on the piss, you know, footy Volk or footy, the boys at footy rugby, Mad Monday, everyone wants to top each other. So it's gonna get like, you know,
Let's see
start
if
off
we
with a
get
shoey, nice clean one, then someone's looking for the most dirtiest one.
I
Then,
did
then they're spitting in it. Then they're getting other people to spit in it.
Well, I did a really.
Mate,
I
like,
did a
oh,
gross-
mate, oh, you know,
Someone's jerking in
Yeah,
it.
mate,
what- yo, there's gotta be
Put
a
it this
line,
way,
guys.
I've seen a fucking lot. You know what I mean? Like, so like, yeah, pissing in it, like, drink, like, oh fucking hell, like a. Have you would have heard of the bubbler?
I don't know that I want to hear of it, but you're about to
Bubbler.
tell me.
So what do you call water fountains here? Water fountains, you
yeah,
know,
water fountains.
Water fountains. So like you sit there and the water comes up, you drink it.
Yeah.
We call them bubblers.
Okay.
So when someone's doing the bubbler, it's them pissing in their own mouth. So a bit bubbler, right? Water fountain coming up.
I
like
got
that,
I got
drinking it.
I got a friend who does this.
I haven't done this, by the way.
Yeah.
I talk about it. Everyone's like, he's done it for sure. I haven't done it.
Shout out Steven from Jeff FM.
Maybe footy ball,
He does
but,
it.
but no, I'm joking.
Yep, he does it. Steven does the bubbler. Learned it from his dad. You just sit there with a flaccid penis and you just kind of
Mate,
shoot it up.
there's
and-
been like celebrities getting done doing it. Like I'm filming it. There's
Like
celebrities
R.
in Australia,
Kelly or-
like in Australia, just sitting there doing bubblers and that.
Seen any of that? I mean, you know.
Probably a good thing that you haven't. Like,
I did want to milk.
Thinking about giving it
Hey?
a shot.
I did want to milk a shoey of milk at Culture.
Okay,
Kings.
yeah.
It's kind of not really cool, right? Like it's
I
kind of
mean,
gross.
that shoe would have been like, I don't know.
It was
how-
it was an old Travis Scott shoe that I'd worn for ages. It even had the nasty insoles in it. And I pulled up to the store and I did the Tim
come out
Tam
brown
Slam.
like while you're drinking it. Or
Yeah. It was pretty gross. I don't know
Yeah.
if that counts or makes you hate me. or
Listen, I think there's a lot of probably young UFC fighters who are listening to this episode. They listen to the Izzy episode. They're taking notes, and I think the biggest note for success that anyone could take, but especially fighters and anyone in any sort of physical occupation, is the consistency. Like you keep mentioning, like the guy that shows up to the gym every day on time, keeps working his ass off. Like you'd be surprised how far you can go in life if you just are relentless and you show up for yourself repeatedly. The tap or sleep mentality that you described earlier, is that submission dependent? Like, not that you ever would, because I just don't see this happening, but if you were in like an arm bar, does the arm go before you tap? Or do you
like
need
in a
to-
fight?
Yeah, an actual fight.
Oh, yeah, I'm letting it. I'm gonna let it snap. Yeah. So like a,
someday in the future,
You're
dude,
sick.
we're gonna be watching, and we're just gonna be like, he's not gonna tap.
like
out of
I
this.
mean,
I just don't think it's gonna be arm bar.
Yeah,
I just don't
are
see him
you
getting
gonna be
caught
in an arm bar anytime soon. Like getting arm barred.
well, I'd like a mate. I get it. Well, Yair Rodríguez, he actually, he's not bad off his backs, and he'll throw up submissions, arm bars, and I think it was his last one. His last one was a triangle, but he'll definitely be throwing them up. So I'm putting myself again. I've got that guy that was, as you were saying, was just that he's like magic on the ground. I got him putting me in these deadly positions. But you're right, man. It is all about consistency and things like that. So was that where you were going with it?
So I'll be honest with you. What happened there was I started saying something, realized I wasn't sure where I was going, and then completely pivoted into a different topic.
Okay.
And that's what happened. Because Izzy was feeding me whiskey. You weren't. It was
I don't even
there,
exist right
and
now.
I drank it.
Question everything, bro.
I wanted to ask. We were talking about this today. Basically, speaking of the armbar submission, is like so I've been watching UFC for a very long time, which is why like meeting you guys and the partnership with Prime UFC was, this whole thing is surreal to me and incredibly exciting. But I feel like certain submissions we just don't see as much anymore, like the guillotine in particular, arm bars anymore that much. Like, has MMA evolved in a way where people are just getting too good to be caught in these, I don't want to call it rudimentary, but
Yeah, look, I think so. Like at the highest level, it can still definitely happen. Like
Yeah.
you're still going to see it here and there. But when you start getting, especially most of the people in the UFC, that's the thing with MMA. You make a UFC, you are the top guys, right? So you're not you're not going to really see too many of them. You won't see these freakishy ones that you might see in the regional scene. These freakish submissions. But I think, there's the defense. I think people probably won't put themselves out of position as much. You're going to get some fighters that, you jump on a guillotine, that means you are sort of you're accepting being taken down in a sense as well. So you fall onto your back. So some people will go to it where I think now people are, want to focus on the takedown defense and all that. They don't want that to be their go-to straight away, which is always I think that's how it is. So most people aren't really looking to do that because they can get themselves on the back. If you don't get the guillotine, you're on your back and your head punch through the canvas. And that's how people look at it. So I don't feel like at the highest level, you'll see people sacrifice themselves to go for it, which some will, as Ortega would. Yair probably would. If he's going down, he's going to try and throw something up. As there's only a few fighters that will do it, and then the defense getting better. That's why you're not seeing it as much. I don't think so.
Yeah, and, I mean, especially a guy like you. I'm not saying you don't have a neck, but I just don't see much of a neck. Like you feel like a tough guy to choke out. Like I tried today. I couldn't really get on.
That sounded like you were talking shit kind of.
No, I said got no neck.
That was kind of like
no neck. No, I actually said it to him, but he's like getting there. He's like,
I couldn't find it, dude.
That's why I was sitting there going, I don't have a neck. You'll probably struggle with.
Are you gonna beat this motherfucker or what?
Yeah, of course, mate.
Because I'm gonna drop some money on it.
I'm always a safe bet.
Okay.
Always a safe bet. That's what. But look, we're gonna go back to my mindset and mentality, like how I look at it. See, for me, I'm gonna prepare as if this is the biggest challenge of my life. I'm gonna turn up, do what needs to be done, but I still expect to go out there and kick fucking ass. You know what I mean? So, people say you're looking forward. I'm planning on fucking going champ, and I'm doing having that rematch with Islam, so people can be like, oh, he's looking past you. No, I know he's dangerous. I just know what I'm capable of. So I'm planning on obviously running through him and moving on.
Where's the fight?
As in Vegas, International Fight Week, July 8th.
Oh,
July
yeah,
8th.
that's a
you
fucking
should go.
crazy. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I would love to go to that. Dana.
You beat you
Closer to the cage.
When you have a dream,
when you have a dream and you beat Yair, you're gonna beat Islam, you beat all these people. That's right. This is the hypothetical reality that I'm living in. You did it in the sport. What are you gonna do after MMA?
After MMA, cooking. Chef Volk. Cooking with Volk, baby. You know what I mean?
The spectrum is like here, and then the cooking, bro. It's just so awesome.
Just the exact opposite. He's gonna cook.
Just go cook. Yeah. As I said, like, I don't mind cooking. I love cooking. I ain't like I'm some crazy chef or anything. I'm not that good at it, but I love it. I get to travel the world and eat with cool chefs and stuff like that. So I love that. Like I love that idea. So it's you never know, but I don't know if I could do the coaching thing in that. To be honest,
that's what I was wondering.
It's a commitment. So everything I'm gonna do, I'm gonna want to fully commit to. And I don't know. Like you see some of these coaches that have to just run around, like spend sacrifice a lot of time away from their families and things like that. Just for their athletes, I just don't know if I could commit to that. So
I think a lot of athletes do it post their athletic prime because it's what they know. But if you can do other things, if you can,
exactly right. Fucking fall back on some that
Yeah, go for it. Like not cooking's not for everyone. Cooking's, I guess I found it not for me. And I find this incredibly hypocritical of Mike, but I cooked a burger for him because he opened a burger restaurant called 1010 Burger in Saudi. And I wanted him to try my homemade burger that I made with my girlfriend. It's called Love at First Bite. I mean,
Love at First Bite.
Love at First Bite. This thing's great, Volk. It is a delicious double cheeseburger smash patty, diced onions, nice soft bun. Like I worked really months perfecting this burger.
It sounds good, but it looks like he's got something.
Well, Mike thinks he's got some sort of connectedness to the kings of the burger world, and he called my burger like a Burger King burger, rated it a 7.6 out of 10.
It's a great rating. It's a good burger.
It's not. And here's the problem. Cooking isn't for everyone because it's a great burger. I can cook a goddamn good burger. He can't even cook a burger.
I don't cook.
To save his life.
Let me ask you a question really quick.
He has the audacity
let me ask you a question.
to tell me I have a 7.6.
Let me ask you a question. How great is Prime? Really, I mean it. Like, rate it.
Me?
Yeah.
I gotta say it's 10-10 prime.
Could you make prime?
If you give me 30 minutes, I could make you some prime.
You can't fucking make prime.
I could
so
get you some
the
prime.
ability to create something does not directly correlate to your ability to judge and rate something. Okay? It just doesn't. I've eaten hundreds of burgers from some of the greatest burger curators in the fast casual space between Greece, Australia, Mykonos, everywhere on the planet, Dubai, Los Angeles, Miami. How dare you? How dare you question my authority on said topic? I gave you a chance, you underperformed, and that is the verdict that you now have to live with. Not me, son. You. And of course your girlfriend.
Whatever, you have hemorrhoids.
It's just your go-to now, is it?
Gotta have
I'm going
hemorrhoids.
to try
Burger
this
tasted like that
burger
burger.
though now.
Hey, listen,
I would love to make you one.
It's a good burger. It's a good
Yeah?
burger.
We did
So,
that.
I mean, to be honest, I'm going to 7 out. What was that? 7?
7.6.
You're not. That's pretty
It's
good.
at least a 9.2.
He reckons he's traveled the
But
world.
brother.
He reckons he's a burger connoisseur.
Brother,
You know.
Quickly. He
I
told
mean,
me
that's pretty good, right?
He told me this. He said, it's at least a 9.2. I said to him, the last 9.2 I had was a man who had quite literally studied the craft of burgers. He had gotten his buns, he curated them and bought them from a local bakery that day. He went to a local farm and got his exact blend of beef from that farm, a Wagyu blend. He then actually went, he made his own pickles. He made his pickles. So how the fuck do you expect when some of your elements are microwaved in your house in Puerto Rico?
And not
to create
microwaved.
the fucking bun was microwaved.
It was warmed up in the microwave.
AKA microwave.
It's a quick way of doing it, you know what I mean? Like, I sometimes do a little zap in the microwave for things, you know what I mean?
Imagine you went to Gibson.
I won't put it on camera, me doing that, though.
Imagine you went to Gibson's Steakhouse in Chicago.
We messed up. Yeah. I nuked it. And who says that, by the way? why did my dad say that growing up? Just put it in the microwave, nuke it.
Nuke it, yeah.
Nuke
Yeah,
it.
what did I say? Zap. I was like, oh, that's
Zap
the word
it.
I was looking
I'm
for.
gonna start doing that.
I was looking for that. I was looking for nuke, actually. That was the word I was looking for. I was like, zap come to my mind.
I mean, okay, so but are we gonna cook tonight?
We're going to cook tonight.
All right, we should do that. I think
Hey?
we should go cook
Yeah.
because it's
Getting late.
Yeah, it is getting late. I don't want to fuck up your camp. Also, Jake invited us to dinner if we want to go. Let's play it by ear, but let's go cook, Volk.
Let's do it.
Is there anything I missed? Like we're obviously extremely excited for your fight, July 8th, in Vegas. I won't be able to make it. He might be able to make it, but
I'd love to go to that fight.
get that W, bro.
That's it.
We're riding for you, brother.
I appreciate it.
Dude.
So, this burger, not burger, sorry. This Cooking with Volk segment, it's going to be up for you guys as well. So make sure you tune into that.
Sharp. Oh, and me and my girl, well, Nina, she's Prime's official mixologist. She can make a mean cocktail with Prime, so I think she's gonna chef a little something up.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, we're collabing.
We're gonna have it. Oh, there we go. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah. Dude, thanks for coming on Impulsive.
No worries.
Brother.
Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
Alexander Volkanovski, UFC Featherweight Champion. Watch this fight July 8th. Follow him on all the social medias. We love you guys. Thank you for listening to this episode of Impulsive. We'll see you next time. Take it easy. Peace.